Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in today's free video I wanted to spend some time discussing Netflix. Now, we began discussing Netflix in the trading chat room a couple of days ago, primarily whenever this daily squeeze began to form. It's always worth keeping an eye on any of your tickers that are, 1%, 2%, essentially just a stone's throw from all-time highs, because when you get into a market environment like this, it's worth trying to find the ones that will outperform the overall indexes, etc., etc. And with Netflix trading just now pennies from this 133.27, it's a great time to consider buying the daily squeeze. Now, of course, the question this comes up to say, if I am buying this here, how far might I have to hold through, and is this move over? Well, admittedly, it is getting a little bit extended, but I don't think it's quite over yet. We still have that all-time high that is just a few pennies away, and then we also have a daily squeeze that just confirmed the actual closing of that bar is confirmation of that signal. Now, what I wanted to show you, because of course tomorrow morning the employment data will come out, and depending on what happens with them, we'll be able to decide if we have more opportunity in this. Now, we're positioned on it long heading into tomorrow, but should it happen to pull back, I would suggest using the exact same type of analysis that we used in Tesla, and I'll show you that as well, just to say, okay, when we began this rally, we had a swing high to swing low. What does that look like in relationship to the decline that we may have to go through tomorrow morning? So as you start comparing these levels, you'll start to see a couple different places that you could look to try and catch Netflix to the long side. For me, it's going to be the easiest if it can continue to hold this previous swing low right here at 130.53. But what I would do with this, and I'm going to show you the Tesla one too, but the way that we did it with Netflix this morning, you come back down to something like a 5-minute chart, and we took the exact same principles to work that on the drop this morning. So here was the weakness that we saw at the beginning of Thursday's session. If you run the exact same type of analysis from what was at that point the existing swing high, which will take you right into here. There's a couple of these, and this is what we used to base the work off of this morning, and there's right there in that swing that I was looking at. So it pays to have each of them run. Obviously, once you have a lot of them, you could always say, well, one of them's going to hold, sure. But the way that I prefer to look at it is to say, these are the personality swings that this chart has had before. If it has a correction that is down to a similar degree, I think that's an opportunity to look at buying it. And also notice how that first 5-minute range really gave you no sweat. You establish the 5-minute range, you do a great job of closing above that, and it gives you a nice continuation for a solid day trade. And I will be looking at the exact same thing tomorrow. To very quickly look at the same example in Tesla, because this one was also very clean. If you come back into the 15-minute chart, this is exactly what I'll be looking for here tomorrow as well, because I think Tesla could work its way up into about 232. So notice how this decline was very similar to the decline that you saw here. We'll be running that exact same type of work tomorrow morning to see where Tesla opens up and see if we can take it into those price targets. So I hope you found that helpful. I also wanted to make sure that you are aware of the free webinar that John will be doing next Tuesday, January 10th. He'll be covering primarily the trading plan that he is going to be using as we get into the first quarter of 2017. Obviously, with the new president-elect taking office and with so many other things that are kind of shifting the markets right here, I think it'll be a very important webinar to check out, and I will definitely be there. So if you think this is something that you'd find interesting, that's going to be next Tuesday the 10th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I hope to see you there.